Yeah, Pitchside Panel Fat Cats podcast powered by Betika, your one-stop shop for all betting needs. Call it soccer, call it rugby, call it NFL, call it basketball. Betika got you sorted. Here with the Cops fan who didn't go to Kakira, but decided to scout for his team and give them some notes. I think I saw you texting that the coach what you have cooking, what Heathens have been cooking here. But here at Chadondo Rugby Club, it ended 5-30 in favor of the Heathens against Victoria Sharks. Isaac, how are you, and what was your initial thought about this game?
This game, it surprised most of the fans of rugby, and we expected some good show which is competitive from the Sharks. That hasn't been seen.
Yes.
And which I think there's a lot to be done in the Sharks camp. We had so much hope in them, yes, because having drawn with Cobs and also hitting on others, it was kind of it wasn't. So today we're disappointed, I should say, in brief. Yes. By that said, Heathens not an easy one always, and I saw their defense today was kind of very, very unmatched. I should say even maybe the try which sneaked from the Sharks, it was not. It was just maybe a small error, but largely their defense, some 2 tries whereby the referee called for held up here and then so down to that side. It's something that which highly, it was very commendable. Yeah, talking about those tries that were held up, Heathens took an early 10-point lead, a penalty and a converted try, and then VU started amping the ante. They started attacking the scrummages, they are carrying very well, but then at one particular point here in the first half, they make the phases and then Heathens holds that ball up. And then later on in the second half, down in the corner where the smoke famously comes from, Heathens again held them up. How impactful was that in your view to VU's efforts to try and get a score out of this game? What I can say is that any score counts in rugby. The more pressure you put on your opponent in terms of numbers, it can do magic. As we've seen in most games whereby a team comes from behind and then they make it, sometimes they can overturn the win, or sometimes it can be a very narrow escape, as has already been seen in some big games. So here, when Sharks failed to get any points, it gave Heathens more lead, because more comfort in their lead.
Yes.
And because it comes with it's psychological in nature. If it was 10-0, if Sharks had gotten maybe some 2 penalties, could be maybe 10-6, however, they never got any penalties put in. They were just going for the attacks, going for the scrum downs, going for the line outs, which I think decision making cost them a bit. So they lost the chances of mounting pressure onto the lead. Yes, which I think it's something that made Heathens more comfortable. Assuming it was 10-0 and maybe Sharks gets a penalty, so they would feel like, guys, we need to push this thing more. Just one coverlet try, we're drawing this game. So which never really happened. They only got some points after Heathens was comfortable, over 20. Non-zero.
Yeah, and I must say, I must commend the Heathens. Compared to last week's game against Buffaloes, this game was better managed. I think you could see the clear structure of how they wanted to attack, how they wanted to defend, how they wanted to scrummage. VU also had a lot of problems with the wet ball. Chadondo was not necessarily wet today, but it was quite damp. And that particular ball forced them to make very many unforced errors, very many knock-ons, and that played to the advantage of the Heathens. I know there was that early, should I say mid second half surge from VU. Even Heathens got a yellow card there, I think, for cynical play, but it still wasn't enough for Heathens to concede until they conceded that one try, and for them going at that point, for them it looked a clean game for them. Now Cobs, obviously I'll jump into the scores later on, but Cobs after this Enterprise Cup break is going to be playing Heathens at Legends, and as you have seen this game, you drew against VU. VU now beaten by Heathens, no longer unbeaten. All of us have an L in our loss column, but from a Cobs perspective, you went to Kakira, won that one 52-11. Now, for Cobs, what do you think you need to do? Be a prophet today and tell us what do you think you need to do to win that game?
I think for Cobs, we take each game at a time, and where the boys are ready, they've been improving at every game, and every errors they find during the games, they've been correcting them in the subsequent games. We just need to put our heads into the game, as for the players, I mean, and then we see that we can pull this off. A fixture for Cobs and Heathens has never been easy, or it's never easy for anyone, for either of the teams. It doesn't matter who is on form and who is off form. At any one time, any can come and roll over the game. So just need to be into the game, our minds into the game, and we see that we can have a win being taken home.
Yeah, win taken off. Cobs winning that one in Kakira, winning 11-52, traveling earlier today and getting business done. You'll be traveling to Kenya in the Enterprise Cup. What do you have to say for your boys as they go and face off with the nondescript?
The boys are ready to take on any challenge.
Yes.
And we know the Kenyan teams are never easy,
yeah.
But even Cobs is ready for any challenges ahead. These are our neighbors. They are kind of our brothers as East Africans. So we are ready. We shall see how to manage at the time. But we are ready to take on the challenge.
Yeah, Enterprise Cup is going to be very interesting at Wankulukuku, seeing the Ugandan sides facing off against top-tier Kenyan opposition. And with that, you just always root forward for Team Uganda. But here with the PR union, Hassan, you've been busy in PRs. We're getting the pictures. Thank you very much. But tell us about the Enterprise Cup, especially those games that are going to be at Wankulukuku this Saturday, 21st.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin. Did I say good evening?
Yeah, good evening, yes.
Good evening. So, yes, the energy is great. We are active.
Yes.
We are working. The Enterprise Cup is coming back. Bigger, better, much more lively. This time round in Wankulukuku after so many years. So yes, we are grateful to have the Enterprise Cup happening in Uganda. Uganda will have 4 teams participating in the event. That is, of course, Pirates, KCB Cobs, Heathens, and the Toyota Buffaloes. So these are teams that qualified through the Uganda Cup. Again, I might have said the arrangement quite wrongly, but yes, Pirates was the overall champion in the Uganda Cup, and then followed by Heathens and KCB. But the interesting bit is we have 4 more teams from Kenya, and these are not just any other teams. There are also teams that have been very top teams, very great teams. So the competition is going to be extreme, very, very extreme. So we are looking at having a very competitive competition or tournament, and then having a very lively, fun, best type of feel for the event. So Wankulukuku is the place to be for anyone and everyone. It's not very far away from the city. We've got very great reassurance from the kingdom through the Prince Wasaja. So it's quite interesting what is going on, and we can't wait to receive all of you.
Yeah, thanks for that communication from the PR department. We look forward to seeing more activity in this week as we go into that. But just to wrap up our panel here with the scores from different grounds. Earlier today at Chadondo, Thunderbirds beating the Panthers 21-0. She-Wolves losing 39-0 to the Avengers, and the U's losing to Nile Rapids. That ended 3-17. And then in the main fixtures after the Chadondo derby between VU and Heathens, we had, as earlier said, Kakira losing 11-52 to Cobs. Hippos losing in the Ginger derby. The Banyabato derby, Hippos 19, Walukuba 34. Pirates beating Impis 31-9. Mongas getting a walkover over Warriors. Details not yet coming about this, but Warriors did communicate to the Mongas that they would not be traveling, and what was a tight thriller in Chambogo, 6-5 and halftime in favor of the Rhinos, has ended 15-20 in favor of the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes scoring a try later on in that game at a point when it was 15-all. So those are the results, and thanks for keeping it Fat Cats. Pitchside Panel powered by Betika. See you next time.